Welcome to another RES Wave Dow Jones update. Okay, so just carrying on from the previous idea, you know that we're long, you know that we're bullish, basically completely bullish across the board. Now, why is this? Well, I think it's pretty obvious that the Fed and central banks around the world, they are not going to stop pumping these markets. Okay, there is nothing to suggest it will stop at any point in the foreseeable future. Therefore, it's going to pump assets, cryptos, and currencies to the moon, except for the US dollar. Of course, that's the one that they're slowly chipping away at. But, they can't raise rates. They have to keep them down. They don't want to affect the market too much. So probably just continue to push those lower at this stage, I reckon. And if yields go up too much, this could just basically be signaling that inflation is picking up. Now, I typically do say that interest rates are correlated with the bond yield. However, they are doing some interesting wizardry lately with all that stuff. So therefore, assuming that just because the yield is going to go up and this will drive interest rates higher, I think that's an assumption, and I suppose we have to be careful with assumptions because we know what they're doing with the interest rates, right? They're just keeping them low. They're refusing to budge, and I think that this will have implications in other areas. Well, one of them, as we know, is inflation, but for some reason, I think they're trying to keep the lid on inflation and control it, slowly releasing, slowly making things go up. But I think this is going to accelerate. I think that things are going to accelerate at some point. And can this lead to hyperinflation? I don't know. But it's just going to be inflation in general that drives all these asset prices up, markets, everything. Cryptos, get into them, right? So this is a big shift in my thinking. Therefore, this is why I can just look at this particular market now and just say, you know what? It's just a matter of just sending it upward, right? It's easy to say that this is a zigzag, but I could easily enough say it's the beginning of an uptrend because they're fractal patterns. This is how fractal patterns work, right? That's why it's easy to make some profit and then lose it again if you haven't got the direction right. Now, the Fed's got our back. So in this case, we don't worry about little mini dips. Just buy them. Just keep buying the dip, basically. Dip buying is not going away. Okay, not in my opinion. And especially not from this point on. So here we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. It's just, it keeps subdividing. In my opinion, this is just going to continue subdividing higher and higher. What is this move we just saw recently? I do think that it's an E wave of the smaller time frame, right? Now, this is roughly where we got into this trade, right? And I think from here on, it's just straight up. So how can I get into this trade again if I'm not in this trade now? Well, 1A, B, C, D, E. So basically, if we break the highs, if we break that high, right? Sorry, 1 second. If we break that high, the low is at the bottom of the 5-wave move, right there. This is what I think is most likely the case. And if we break that high, that's new support. That's like a 1, 2 and 1, 2 with expanding correction, right? And that is actually quite normal in fast moving markets, right? Really strong uptrends. You get the expanded correction, right? Looking at this as some kind of ending pattern now from this point onward is just probably just going to give you more pain. But if you want to just continue to push your profits higher, I suggest forming a long-term view of this. As you know, my bullish stance now sends this thing far higher than you could imagine. 142,000. We've still got quite a while to go to get there. It's going to take years. These are the kinds of uptrends I'm seeing in a lot of markets across the board. Okay. So we're forgetting about wave Vs and these and that, right? We're done with this sort of view, right? We're done with this, done with this, done with it. Actually, no, D wave is the long-term wave of the entire structure, right? So supposedly the 3 ended there, the 4 ended there, right? And this was the wave 5 of the ending diagonal, supposedly, that we had since 09. So very tricky. This corona wave being a wave E, being the end of wave B. That's how my view has changed. This is just another buy the dip moment in time. And that's why I think you've got to be careful when you're looking at a lot of the bearish content that is online. It can definitely affect you. I have switched off every piece of news possible. And if I do read something, I just say, yeah, okay, fair enough. That's your opinion. My opinion is to the moon because it's pretty obvious that they're not going to stop printing. It's not going to stop. Okay. No way. No way, no way, no how. If they do, well, I'm pretty sure would be told about it. Mr. J. Powell would definitely be giving us some kind of sign that that's the case, but then he might as well be just telling us that he's going to crash the entire economy because that's probably what would happen. But according to the long-term pattern, I don't think this will happen until much up the line into the future. Just touching back on that long-term view. If we are going to give you that long-term view, we have to understand it, of course, right? So if we're looking at an extremely expanded B wave to the upside, then basically we haven't even created the B wave within the B wave yet. So that would have to put us, that would have to give us the target of, sorry, I've got a couple of things. Which one is it? I think that one is actually up here somewhere. I'm getting a bit mixed up here. That's the B wave of that. I hate it when labels double up on you. Okay, so that's the B wave that we're looking for there. The C wave, we're basically in C wave now, and this C wave should send us somewhere around 142,000, right? That's the same length as this particular move here that happened in the 40s and 50s. This is A, B, C, D, E, happened just recently, last year, and then now we're just going to keep going higher to complete that B wave within the larger B wave. And then we'll see some more interesting things happen before we get even more upside. Just things are just going to continue to get more interesting. This is an uptrend. It's not going to end. It's just going to get better and better and better, and it's going to have its little obstacles along the way where you take profit and all that sort of stuff. You know, you got to, you know, that's basically what I'll be tracking the whole way through, because it's interesting enough to do. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.